Hey Stoic soul, tonight you enter the stronghold, not of stone and steel, but of the mind. The world expects you to play its frantic games, smile on cue, nod, bite your tongue, always one step behind someone else's agenda. You wake up tired, already negotiating with invisible hands that tug at your peace, a parade of forced laughs, passive digs, and backhanded compliments. Your life becomes a chessboard, but you didn't agree to these rules. The Stoics warned us about this. Manipulation is the thief of clear thought, the poison in an open wound. If this quiet defiance already stirs something in you, consider joining this tribe. Here, we master ourselves, not the world. Now breathe. Today, we'll expose the games, the silent tricks, and reclaim dignity from those who treat your virtue as a pawn. You think you're making your own choices, but some people tug invisible strings, steering you into guilt, confusion, and doubt. You say yes when you mean no, and afterwards wonder whose life you're living. This is not chance. This is someone else scripting your part while you dance for their applause. Imagine walking down a street with your own playlist blasting. Every decision, every step you take is choreographed by the beat in your headphones. But then, surprise, the music wasn't your playlist at all. It was someone standing behind you with their secret DJ setup, mixing in guilt, flattery, and a little bit of FOMO for flavor. You're nodding along, thinking, I'm so original, while actually starring in their greatest hits cover band. Congratulations! You've just met a world-class puppeteer. Manipulators rarely raise their voices or wear villainous mustaches. Instead, they prefer impressions. The wistful sigh, the subtle suggestion, the overcooked compliment casserole. They have a knack for making you feel irrational for noticing their pressure, as if you're doubting your own reality. A Jedi mind trick passed down through generations of emotionally confusing ancestors. You transform from proud rebel to obliging extra in the blink of an eye. It starts innocently. Can you help me out? Just this once. Next thing you know, it's a recurring role in the unpaid intern Olympics, with events like, guess what I'm upset about? And apologize for breathing incorrectly. They reroute your inner GPS, so you can no longer tell if you're headed toward your goals or just detouring for their convenience. Did you even want to go to brunch with them 8 Sundays in a row? Were you always this eager to explain yourself for things that don't need explanations? Is it your job this week to rescue their goldfish again? The greatest magicians dazzle you while stealing your attention with one hand. Manipulators do the same with your values. They plant seeds of guilt and water them with just enough charm, so you nourish their garden of self-interest instead of tending your own. You say, I'll do it, just this once. And your calendar starts looking like a tribute to just once-ism. You wake up at 3 a.m., plagued by the existential question, did I agree to lend them my car or my sense of self-worth? Stoics remind us that we control our responses. But manipulators write previews for your movie and convince you they're the director. They offer emotional bait, their disappointment, their dazzling opinions about what a good friend or loving partner does, usually after you announce your boundaries. The moment you decline, you face a masterclass in sighing, or the kind of silence that can only mean a storm is brewing in their inner weather channel. You dodge their cloudbursts by grabbing an umbrella made of your own discomfort. At the end of the day, the strings aren't visible, but the marks they leave on your decisions are. The next time you find yourself dancing to music you didn't choose, remember, it may be time to switch DJs. Step away from the puppeteer's hand and reclaim your own choreography. No applause necessary. The Stoics would clap softly, just for you, but only if you actually want them to. You remember one thing, but you're told it never happened. You feel the urge to apologize, and you're not sure what for. Manipulators are connoisseurs of confusion, sowing seeds of second-guessing until you don't trust your own eyes. Your own mind becomes unfamiliar territory. Imagine starting your morning with a nice cup of self-doubt, laced with just a hint of existential crisis. As the manipulator serves up their famous, "Did you really say that?" Or is your memory playing tricks again? Special. You find yourself chasing your sanity like a toddler chasing a greased pig at a county fair. It's a mental cardio workout, but instead of six-pack abs, you're left with 6 unanswered questions and the creeping suspicion that you're the unreliable narrator of your own life. Gaslighters are like psychological illusionists. But instead of pulling rabbits out of hats, they yank your confidence clean out of your head. Nothing up their sleeve except relentless doubt and the uncanny ability to remember details about arguments you are fairly sure only happened inside their heads. You might recall how the milk was finished, the keys were left out, or, heaven forbid, you forgot an anniversary. Suddenly, it's as if you've stumbled into an alternate universe where cause and effect are just rumors, and logic comes with a 5-second expiration date. You start to question not only what happened, but who you are. Are you actually forgetful and thoughtless? Or is your reality being edited in real time by someone else with a dodgy Wi-Fi connection? The Stoics would say, it's not things themselves that disturb us, but our interpretations of them. Epictetus, meet gaslighting, a modern power-up for timeless confusion. The ancient sages probably never anticipated you'd face someone who could turn "you left the toilet seat up" into a TED talk on your character flaws. The most masterful gaslighters aren't loud. Oh no. They specialize in casual, disarmingly mundane corrections to your experience. I never said that. Are you sure you're not imagining things? Maybe you're just tired. Next thing you know, you're apologizing to a chair for being in its way and considering writing a thank you note to your own anxiety. Mental notes become evidence exhibits in the world's most unhinged internal trial. Exhibit A: I'm 93% certain I bought toilet paper last Tuesday. Objection: the prosecution counters that you've never bought toilet paper a day in your life. Welcome to your courtroom, where you play all the roles and lose every case because your memory is deemed inadmissible. But don't worry, this is just your brain's way of keeping itself warm at night by roasting marshmallows over the open flame of your self-esteem. You laugh it off sometimes. What else can you do? The goal isn't to become stone-faced like a marble bus labelled emotional constipation. It's about seeing the absurdity. Gaslighters treat reality like a Wikipedia page anyone can edit. And somehow you've been reduced to a confused, polite footnote. Remember, the Stoics had a remedy for this. Maintain your own internal compass. Trust what you see and feel, and treat doubts like passing clouds. Observe, but don't rearrange your entire mental landscape on their behalf. Seneca, with a knowing smile, would probably add, never confuse someone's smoke and mirrors show for the architecture of your own soul. And if in doubt, and you're awake at 3 a.m., try making shadow puppets on your wall. It's about as productive as arguing with a gaslighter, and at least the puppets don't contradict you. So as you drift to sleep, remember, you're not losing your mind. The real illusion is that someone else has the power to rewrite your reality. Your perception, like your bedtime blanket, belongs firmly to you. And if that doesn't ground you, well, let's just agree the chair was in your way and move on. Have you noticed that with some people, every compliment is a leash? You chase their approval, but it's always just out of reach. one more sacrifice, one more compromise, and maybe then you'll be enough. The Stoics called this the slavery of praise, a trick that hooklines your dignity with every ounce of fleeting validation. Imagine you're at a party and someone gives you what sounds like a compliment. Wow, you're actually really funny tonight. There's that word, actually, delivering the emotional sting of a wet sock to the face. You laugh, you play along, but suddenly your brain is spinning. Was I never funny before? Do they secretly think I'm usually a toad in human clothing? Congratulations, you've just entered the approval vortex. Population, everyone who's ever tried to change themselves for someone else's passing fancy. The ancient Stoics would be watching from their metaphorical cloud, rolling their eyes and eating grapes, because this script isn't new. Seneca warned that he who seeks the approval of others will never find happiness, and probably won't get invited to the grape-eating club either. Okay, he might not have said that last part, but you get the idea. The demand for approval is a bottomless pit, one that asks you to toss in your peace of mind, your plans, and your perfectly good Saturday mornings when you agree to their idea of fun, which suspiciously involves you helping them move a couch. But why does praise cost us so much? Because it's never just about praise, it's about control. And it comes with a user agreement that would make a tech giant blush. Their validation always has fine print. By accepting this compliment, you agree to meet my expectations, ignore your needs, and update your personality quarterly. The real dilemma is, how much of yourself are you willing to trade just to hear the words, "Good job"? Spoiler, the Stoics would urge you to read the contract before you sign. Even in ancient Rome, they had praise merchants hawking admiration like street vendors. Fresh approval! Get your approval! Only costs your self-worth. Marcus Aurelius, emperor and serial journal writer, pointed out that other people's opinions are nothing but fleeting wisps of air, yet we build whole lives around them, constructing mental IKEA furniture out of compliments and hoping it won't collapse. The approval vortex works because it seduces you into believing your value is external, like updating your status to feeling fabulous, because Janet said my shirt was nice. Of course, Stoicism isn't against kindness or genuine connection. It's just not keen on emotional blackmail disguised as encouragement. When you contort yourself to fit the shape of someone else's expectations, you become a shadow puppet in their little theatre. Sure, the applause is nice, but you're the one pulling the strings on your sanity, and let's face it, shadow puppets don't get health insurance. So what can you do instead of getting sucked into the vortex? Practice a little stoic side-eye. Take the compliment, thank them kindly, and remember your value was there before they noticed your new haircut. Remind yourself you are not a circus dog performing tricks for treats. Epictetus once said, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have." Substitute things for Jen from accounting's opinion of your sandwich, and suddenly you're enlightened. Getting out of the approval vortex doesn't mean giving up on human connection or living in a cave, unless you really like caves. We won't judge. It's about anchoring your self-respect internally. So praise is pleasant, but not a prescription. And criticism doesn't send you spiraling into existential crisis at 2 a.m. If you can smile at both and keep your wits about you, you win something better than applause. You win your freedom, and maybe, just maybe, a little extra sleep. Not all weapons are loud. Some are cold silences, delayed replies, or the deliberate withdrawal of warmth. Manipulators use absence to control, making you trigger your own anxiety, all while they stay quiet. It's a slow form of discipline, but the leash is real. Picture it: a friend, partner, or perhaps an enigmatic coworker who always seems to answer your texts, emails, or direct questions with the punctuality of a cat who knows it's dinner time but just doesn't care. You reach out. Hours go by. Maybe days. Nothing. Your mind doesn't just wander, it sprints, does parkour, possibly a full moonwalk over every possible scenario. Did I do something wrong? Are they upset? Should I follow up? Did they join a Wi-Fi free monastery just to avoid me? Silence, it turns out, is not always golden. In the toolkit of manipulation, it's a scalpel, surgically applied to keep you on edge. Most of us know that odd ache that grows in the space where conversation used to flow. It's not that someone's busy, it's that you're meant to notice the gap. You're supposed to feel it because that's the whole point. The anxiety, the rumination, the "was it something I said?" spiral. These are not the pauses of life. They're engineered potholes on your emotional street. Each one bumpier and just a hair deeper than the last. Some call it the silent treatment. But let's be honest, if it were actually silent, it wouldn't be so loud inside your head. The real volume comes from your imagination doing backflips, assigning meaning to the nothingness. Maybe you start correcting your own behavior, trying to preempt what you've supposedly done wrong, rehearsing apologies that no one asked for. It's like you're starring in a one-person soap opera, and your only script notes are vague feelings of guilt and uncertainty. Stoicism isn't about becoming immune to these tactics, but about noticing them without getting swept away. The wise ancient Stoic would probably nod, scratch their beard and ask, "If another silence is meant to rattle you, must you oblige?" They might remind us that discomfort is information, not a command. Whether someone's withholding a kind word or ghosting your group chat like it's a haunted house, your sense of self isn't actually in their inbox or wrapped up in their icy reply schedule. Remember, he who angers you conquers you. As Elizabeth Kenny said, though a proper Stoic might tweak it, he who makes you anxious with silence controls you if you let them. The key is to notice the hook without biting. The next time a message goes unanswered, try treating the void like a minimalist work of art. Nice, but not worth obsessing over. Let silence be silence, not a signal to self-destruct. As Marcus Aurelius probably didn't say, but totally could have, be as unmoved by cold shoulders as by the cold shower you took when the water heater broke. Briefly unpleasant, ultimately refreshing for the character. And if you find yourself tempted to wield silence as a cudgel, ponder this. Are you holding back to protect your own energy or to stir someone else's unease? The difference determines whether you're setting boundaries or just setting off emotional booby traps for unsuspecting souls. The world, full of people using words and their absence as chess moves, will keep spinning. But while you can't always stop others from using silence as control, you can always decide how loudly you'll let it echo inside your own head. If all else fails, just imagine your anxious thoughts narrated by David Attenborough. Here, we observe the human brain, inventing catastrophic reasons for a missed text in its natural panic habitat. In the end, the best counter to silent weapons isn't more noise, it's clarity. Clarity that you are still whole, worthy, and entirely okay, even when faced with the Grand Canyon gap of an unanswered message. Stoic, serene, unfazed by the hush, you remain unshaken, the sound of your own peace turning silence into strength. What happens when you refuse to react? When you meet provocation with poise and expectation with silence? Suddenly, the manipulator stumbles. Their power dissolves in the space between your calm and their chaos. This is your first Stoic test. Defend your inner fortress by refusing to play. Imagine an ancient Roman marketplace, noisy as a toddler's birthday party, a little less organized, and with far more olives flying through the air. A young Stoic stands serenely amid squabbling vendors, their faces set to maximum outrage over the price of chickpeas. The Stoic blinks once, just once, as insults rich in vocabulary and low in calories volley overhead. They don't take the bait, not even a nibble. The chaos cannot penetrate the legendary armor of indifference. See, in every social skirmish, someone is pitching emotional softballs at you, fast and underhand, hoping you'll leap into the pit and start swinging. The Stoic? They leave their bat at home. While the world expects you to lunge for every drama dangled in your face, you stand there like a cucumber in a Zen garden, refreshing, mildly mysterious, and absolutely unbothered. This strategy, calm indifference, does not mean you lack feelings or opinions. It's not about being a bland, indifferent piece of walking tofu. It's about knowing the difference between what you control and what you don't, between genuine engagement and emotional bait. When the world starts poking at you with pointy sticks, think grumpy co-workers, passive-aggressive relatives, or the Twitter comment section, your superpower is non-reactivity. Picture Marcus Aurelius at a family dinner with 5 Lucilii arguing about Caesar's latest hairstyle. I observe, I do not combust. Let's modernize the metaphor. Someone cuts you off in traffic, then flips you the bird for existing. Classic test. Old you felt your pulse spike, throat tensing up for a Shakespearean monologue. Stoic you, however, transforms the steering wheel into a wheel of fortune. Does it matter where it lands as long as you keep driving? The fate of the universe does not hinge on your honking. Your calm is the greatest act of rebellion. Indifference in Stoicism doesn't mean you let people walk all over you like you're the world's worst doormat. It's more like you're a velvet rope at a club. You choose what gets a reaction, who enters the sacred zone of your attention, and who waits outside with the rest of the emotional riffraff. You are not suppressing your feelings, you're training them. When someone launches a guilt trip your way, you send their emotional luggage spinning right back on the conveyor belt. Sorry, this baggage does not match the name on my inner piece. But, and every Stoic worth their salt knows this, true indifference is active discipline, not passive apathy. You don't just let things slide. You choose with intention where your energy flows. The next time you're ambushed by expectations, boss wants you to fix the office printer with duct tape and good intentions. Friend wants you to solve their existential crisis over a bag of pretzels. Pause. Ask yourself what's truly up to you. Spoiler alert, it's not their mood, or the printer, or the existential void. It's your response. Practicing Stoic indifference is like holding a shield made of Teflon, smooth and impenetrable. People may hurl their complaints, expectations, or frustrations your way. They slide right off, leaving your core untouched and, ideally, a little amused. Turn every trigger into a test. Can you watch your initial reaction, smile at your own urge to explode, and then let it all pass like a mild hailstorm on your philosophical umbrella? If yes, you pass the test of indifference with flying colours, preferably the muted, dignified shades approved by Seneca himself. So, let others flail, complain, or rage. Let them expect a performance and receive only calm. Over time, your quiet refusal to engage in pointless drama becomes not just a shield, but a silent lesson. You demonstrate that true strength is unflappable calm, a refusal to let the world's noise echo in your soul. It's not about winning arguments. It's about winning your own peace, one unbothered breath at a time. Stoics practice a kind of emotional aikido. They notice the game, name it, and reflect it without anger. When you calmly echo a manipulator's words back to them, unshaken, unbitten, they are forced into the horror of their own reflection. Picture yourself at a family dinner. Uncle Larry insists your haircut means you're in a cult. Rather than launching into a passionate defense of your hair or joining a monastery out of spite, you smile serenely and say, "Uncle Larry, so you think my haircut means I'm in a cult?" As the words hang in the air, Uncle Larry confronts the absurdity of his own accusation, like a cat startled by its own shadow. The table goes quiet. The peas stop rolling. Manipulation, meet the mirror trick. You see, manipulators thrive in the fog. They toss out half-truths, guilt trips, and emotional grenade fruit baskets, hoping you'll juggle them with tears and self-doubt. The Stoic approach is to become the world's politest brick wall. Calmly describe exactly what they just did or said, as if you're narrating a nature documentary. Fascinating, Aunt Linda. You've implied that if I don't cancel my plans to babysit your parrot, I lack basic morality. Is that what you meant? Suddenly, the emotional weather changes. The storm does not stick. It passes, slightly embarrassed. The trick here is neutrality, making yourself a mirror, not a sponge. You are not absorbing blame, guilt, or shame like some sort of psychic kitchen towel. No, you're reflecting pure, impartial sunlight. In psychologist speak, this is called reflective listening. But to a Stoic, it's the art of refusing emotional toxins with the poise of a bouncer at the nightclub of your soul. I hear you're upset I didn't reply to your 8th text this hour. Sounds frustrating. Did I get that right? There's no need for sarcasm or sass. The velvet hammer of calm accuracy is enough. Warning: the first few times you wield the mirror, you may feel silly, like a knight brandishing a baguette in battle. That's normal. The manipulator might double down, producing more elaborate guilt origami, or express disbelief that you're so calm, almost robotic. Hold steady. They're not used to seeing their own emotional acrobatics so clearly. Think of it as gently holding up a window while someone is practicing interpretive dance. They might pause, realize they're being watched, and put the jazz hands away. This mirroring technique is not a power move or a trap. It's a simple kindness to yourself and, strangely, to the manipulator. By refusing to absorb their emotional darts, you invite them to see their own behavior more clearly. Sometimes they'll shift. Sometimes they'll flee to find softer targets, like your dog. Sorry, Charlie. But you remain unruffled. The drama flows around you with all the force of a stream diverted by a stone. You offer clarity, not chaos. Boundaries, not battle. Remember, this isn't about scoring points or winning the interaction. It's about protecting your internal calm, which, let's face it, is worth more than the last slice of cheesecake at the family reunion. You're not a doormat, but you're also not emotionally mud wrestling today. Thank you very much. In a world full of wind-up toys and emotional booby traps, be the mirror that reflects, not the trampoline that absorbs. As Epictetus might say if he'd ever met Uncle Larry, it's not things that upset us, but our judgments about them, and sometimes our relatives' judgments about our hair. So, keep polishing that mirror. Reflect gently, reflect often, and watch the storms lose interest in you altogether. Manipulators thrive in blurred boundaries. The moment you declare your limits, not with drama, but with clarity, they panic. They will push, appeal, threaten to leave. But as Seneca wrote, no one can rule over you unless you let them. The boundary is your line in the sand. Drawing a boundary, in the Stoic sense, is less like building a wall and more like drawing an elegant chalk line. Delicate, yet unmistakable. You don't have to brandish a sword and defend your honor like you're recreating the final scene of Gladiator. Sometimes, It's as simple as saying, "No, thank you," and then staring serenely at your cup of herbal tea with the wisdom of Epictetus glowing in your eyes. If you look confused, that's just the sleep deprivation. But if you look serene, you've nailed it. Consider the manipulative coworker who expects you to take on their projects because you're just so good with spreadsheets. Now, unless you've been secretly moonlighting as Excel's muse, you have every right to respond with, "Thank you for thinking of me, but I'm at capacity." Watch as they twitch, malfunction, and try to install guiltware in your emotional operating system. This is the dance. Don't join in. Let the music play. You can even hum Seneca's greatest hits. Why would I feel guilty for honoring my own bandwidth? Some will accuse you of changing or not being a team player. Remind yourself this is the sound of old programming frantically trying to reboot. People who benefit from blurred boundaries treat clarity like it's a fire drill at 3 a.m., unwelcome, loud, and a little alarming. But that's okay. You're not here to win the world's shoddiest popularity contest. You're here, in the words of Marcus Aurelius, to stand upright, not be kept upright by others. If that means your popularity dips temporarily among the manipulative folks, treat it like a stock market correction. Temporary, healthy, inevitable. Suppose someone tries the guilt trip. "After all I've done for you." This is a classic maneuver, to which the Stoic replies, not with anger, but tranquility. "I appreciate your efforts, but my choices are my own. No apology for existing, no refund policy for being yourself. If they persist, activate the sacred art of silence. Silence is the cosmic equivalent of enabling airplane mode. Suddenly, drama can't reach you. Drawing boundaries isn't just about keeping others out. It's about keeping yourself in. Your values, your energy, your time. They're all precious currencies too easily spent by people who think your life is just an extension of their ambition. Practice saying no the way an ancient philosopher might, with calm, with reason, and perhaps a mysterious half-smile that says, "Yes, I have read Meditations, and no, you cannot borrow my charger." The beauty of a well-drawn boundary isn't just that it protects you, it educates those around you, sometimes painfully, about the value of your no. For some, this is a revelation on par with discovering coffee after years of decaf. You're not responsible for their enlightenment. You are, however, responsible for the gentle stewardship of your own peace. So, the next time someone shoves their to-do list onto your desk, or their emotional baggage into your inbox, picture the Stoic sage within you calmly lifting a metaphorical closed sign. You're not rude. You're not mean. You're just maintaining the sacred perimeter, making space for wisdom, rest, and maybe, just maybe, a good night's sleep. You want to be kind. They twist your kindness into obligation. You want to be loyal. They turn your loyalty into self-betrayal. Every virtue in the wrong hands becomes a leash, but the Stoic knows. Be good, but never at the cost of self-respect. Picture it. You're just trying to be a solid, all-around, nice person. Holding doors. Listening to your friend's 27th story about their weird coworker, Brenda, from accounting. Agreeing to help with someone's move. Again, seriously, why does everyone you know have commitment issues with furniture? Then, somewhere in the gentle fog of helpfulness, you notice you're being guilted, maneuvered into a corner. Suddenly, what would Marcus Aurelius do? Turns into, can Marcus box someone out of his Saturday morning? It's a twisty little trap. Manipulators put on their best puppy dog expression and dress up their demands as moral emergencies. You find yourself explaining to a grown adult why it's okay for you to say no on a Tuesday night Instead of driving 45 minutes to water their cactus, they want your boundaries to get lost, maybe forever, hidden behind the smug curtain of, if you were really a good person. Stoicism, in its beard-stroking wisdom, is all about intention. Do good, not because you're desperate for applause or because someone is dangling moral blackmail in front of you, but because that's who you are. Epictetus didn't buy anyone lunch because he'd get a gold star. He did it because integrity tastes better than external validation. Also, ancient Rome's Yelp scene wasn't exactly thriving. Still, let's face it, sometimes the call to be virtuous can sound suspiciously like a telemarketer desperately trying to sell you unnecessary extended car warranties for your soul. Don't you care about people? They'll sigh, eyebrows raised, as if not instantly becoming their emotional ATM is a crime against humanity. The Stoic inside you, possibly sipping chamomile tea, reminds you, caring is not the same as capitulating. Here's the difference. Real virtue is like a healthy houseplant. You water it, you keep it in sunlight, but you don't let it grow across your living room, wrapping your couch, swallowing your remote, and eventually muttering, "I am the captain now." Boundaries, my friend, are the plant pot. They keep the goodness in, but they stop it from devouring all your furniture. Manipulators thrive on confusion between compassion and compliance. They'll say things like, "If you really valued friendship, you'd do this for me." Pass that for a second. In Stoic terms, that's someone outsourcing their expectations and their emotional laundry to you, while pretending it's just your civic duty. If you don't fold their socks, are you even virtuous? But the answer from ancient sages is a gentle, unambiguous nah. Marcus Aurelius probably wouldn't ghost read someone's screenplay just because they made sad eyes. Virtue, for a Stoic, is expressed through wise action, not reckless yes-saying. You can be kind without being a doormat, loving without sacrificing your own sanity, patient without letting your calendar become a sacrificial goat on the altar of people-pleasing. So, next time someone hoists the virtue decoy, channel your inner Seneca, smile serenely, gently decline, and maybe throw in a quote about not being responsible for the emotional weather forecast of others. True goodness is never at the mercy of emotional pirates. Remember, your compass is internal, and a real Stoic will lend a hand, but not their backbone. Every manipulative encounter holds the raw material for mastery. When life hands you confusion, extract clarity. When someone tries to shake you, anchor deeper. The Stoic faces each test not as an insult, but as an invitation to refine their art of detachment. Now, you might be thinking, but how exactly do I turn emotional turbulence into inner peace? Imagine you're at a dinner party, and someone you barely know corners you with passive-aggressive comments about your life choices, your diet, your hobbies, maybe even that obscure hobby you never confessed to anyone except your cat. In that swirling moment, you face a choice best epitomized by Epictetus, connoisseur of the awkward social encounter. It's not things themselves that disturb us, but our judgment about them. Translation: don't let their broccoli critique become your emotional broccoli soup. The serenity. Counterattack doesn't mean rolling over or letting someone tap dance on your sacred boundaries. No, it's about refusing ticket sales to your emotional circus. Take a breath. Notice the surge of defensiveness or irritation rising like a poorly timed hiccup. Smile, both inwardly and maybe awkwardly, as you recognize this is just another lesson. You are the calm in the room's caffeinated storm, the eye in their hurricane of unsolicited advice. Ask yourself, is this about me, or is this about them wrestling their own anxieties? Often, you'll discover you're just a mirror for their unresolved business. Instead of snapping or spiraling, try something wild. Curiosity. That's an interesting point. Why do you feel so strongly about that? Channel your inner Marcus Aurelius, interviewing a judgy Roman cousin about gluten. Sometimes, simply observing the manipulative tactic without reacting dissolves its power entirely. The moment you see the puppet strings, you're no longer the marionette. But let's say they start escalating, stacking manipulations like Jenga blocks, guilt, flattery, then a guilt-flavored compliment. When their words start making less sense than a motivational poster for procrastinators, it's time for the ancient Stoic maneuver, detached observation. Picture yourself as a wildlife documentary narrator. Observe the manipulator in their natural habitat, employing guilt tactics to entice a reaction from their unsuspecting conversational prey. Instantly, the situation transforms from a personal attack into a fascinating case study in human behavior. And if it's someone you love, family and friends can unintentionally wield emotional manipulation like a toddler swinging a pool noodle, more annoying than dangerous, but still likely to splash you in the eye. Here, the Stoic upgrades from detached observer to compassionate boundary setter. A calm, "I love you, but I don't accept guilt-based invitations," turns emotional quicksand into a sturdy bridge. The key: intention without bitterness, boundaries without spiked fences. When you finally retreat to your own thoughts, replay the encounter not as a failure, but as progress in your ongoing Stoic training montage. What triggers grabbed you? Where did you wobble? Marcus Aurelius made a nightly habit of self-reflection, not self-flagellation. Today, you might say, I did not let their salty remarks marinate in my mind. Victory. Or, next time, I'll speak up with more kindness. Each manipulation is a custom-designed workout for your soul's emotional abs. Soreness is part of growing stronger. Humor, too, is a secret weapon. Try visualizing your manipulator wearing absurd costumes. The guilt wizard hat, or passive-aggressive parrot cloak, squawking nonsense. Suddenly, their magical powers evaporate in the radiance of your amusement. No one can command your emotions without your signature on the order form. The Serenity counterattack isn't flashy, it's subtle, dignified, and, if you squint hard enough, just a little bit funny. So the next time someone lobs manipulation your way, thank them, silently, for the free Stoicism lesson. With every awkward encounter, you become less like a leaf blown by other people's winds, and more like the sturdy tree, steady, unshakable, and, if it comes to it, delightfully amused at the squirrels trying to steal your acorns. You win when you stop playing. Turn your energy inward. The manipulator cannot grasp what you no longer offer, your reactions, attention, or need for their approval. From the center of your own calm, you watch their games fall away, powerless in the face of true peace. Imagine, for a moment, you're in a vast coliseum. The crowd roars for drama, eager for you to leap into the dust and wrestle with shadows. Every taunt, every sly nudge, just an invitation to perform. But you, Stoic that you are, untie your sandals, set down your armor, and quietly walk out the side door. The stadium echoes in confusion. Wait, where are you going? We haven't even started the show. And yet, you're already gone, sipping a chamomile tea in the sun, serenely unmoved by the demand for spectacle. Stillness is not passive. It is an act of defiance in a world addicted to noise and frenzy. When someone tosses you a psychological grenade, you no longer pull the pin. You set it gently aside with a small, mysterious smile. Sometimes, the best way to win a battle is to decide you aren't a participant. They want you flustered, reactive, tangled in their web. But you, Calm spider that you are, quietly disentangle yourself and knit your own web elsewhere. One built for catching stars, not drama. When you withdraw your investment from the chaos market, the price of nonsense crashes. You become a limited edition, emotionally unavailable on weekdays, and with absolutely no returns accepted. The manipulator flaps their arms like a bird trying to create a hurricane, but all they get is a light breeze, barely enough to stir your herbal tea. You realize they only had power because you bought tickets to their show, front row, popcorn in hand. Quick, recycle the ticket stub. You have far better things to do with your attention, like contemplating the intricate geometry of ceiling tiles or petting a cat, both notably immune to social games. The world will never run out of drama. But your peace becomes a force of nature, the eye of the hurricane where silence reigns. Instead of bracing for the next jab, you wrap yourself in an invisible cloak of calm. It's not that you don't notice their attempts, it's that they don't land. Like wind whistling through an ancient forest, their words slip through you, leaving only gentle movement in your emotional leaves. You collect your energy like a secret garden, only inviting in those who respect the silence. Some may call it avoidance. The Stoics call it wisdom, and house cats call it Tuesday. The manipulator, denied access to your sweet coconut water of validation, soon heads elsewhere, searching for a new supplier. There's a strange satisfaction in watching them realize that your reactions, formerly so delicious, have become invisible, flavorless, utterly unavailable at this emotional drive-through. Now, warrior, the storm of manipulation is just static. You see the strings, the games, the tactics, but you no longer dance for anyone but your own virtue. Each Stoic test becomes a silent badge, every boundary, a stone in the fortress of your mind. The true power was not in reacting, but in knowing when to walk. Quietly, fiercely, free. Rest now knowing you owe no explanations. In detachment, you have claimed something rare, your sovereignty. You need prove nothing to anyone. Your calm is proof enough. Walk quietly, walk free, and let no one move you from the peace you have earned. Now, warrior, the storm of manipulation is just static. You see the strings, the games, the tactics, but you no longer dance for anyone but your own virtue. Each Stoic test becomes a silent badge, every boundary a stone in the fortress of your mind. The true power was not in reacting, but in knowing when to walk, quietly, fiercely, free. Rest now, knowing you owe no explanations. In detachment, you have claimed something rare, your sovereignty. You need prove nothing to anyone. Your calm is proof enough. Walk quietly, walk free, and let no one move you from the peace you have earned.